Good morning, everyone. Wait a minute. Gotta look good for you. Because you know what I'm not doing today? I am not making excuses today. No. This is Coach Mo Faul, mofaul.com. And here's the thing. I am talking about 6 career-killing traps that you are probably falling into at least one. And I'd love to hear you if you've been with me all week. If you have been with me for one or more of these career-killing traps and they have resonated, today's career-killing mistake is going to really resonate because this one's so hard to avoid. It is possible to avoid. First, before I go into this career-killing trap for today, the 4th one, I want to do a shout out to my Kickass Leadership Academy, who I had the pleasure, opportunity, and privilege of coaching on Monday night, to my Kickass Career Workshop, gals who are in my 12-week transformational Bring Your Soul to Work, Land Your Dream Job workshop. And it's more than a workshop. We change lives there. You know, I got to say this, when you learn how to bring your soul back up, when you learn how to bring your soul back into vibration, everything gets better in your life. And then last night, I had the pleasure of being with the ladies who joined my annual retreat 10 days ago. And we did really deep work just 10 days ago, 100% virtual. Ladies, if you were at the retreat or at the retreat call last night, bravo to you, because your soul got so much pumped up energy that you're already, one of our ladies got a new roof for free. One of our ladies is already interviewing at higher level jobs than she ever imagined. One of our ladies got an inheritance that she didn't expect. This is in 10 days, okay? Other ladies are interviewing for higher level positions and basically living in the world we live in today, which is a stressful, anxious-ridden world that we live in today, in peace, grace, and flow, even if they're working hard, even if they have other types of pressures in their lives. One of our ladies talked about such deep, meaningful connections that she had with her mom because she was in a peaceful state. Her mom is suffering and riddled with Alzheimer's. And this one particular client just shared how much she was able to just be with her mom in a state of grace and love and not judge and get frustrated and angry. And I know what that's like. My dad had dementia in his later years, and being with our loved parents when they're suffering through their elder years and the diseases that riddle our bodies as we age, being in that state of grace is a true gift, And she got there because of the soul vibration she was able to get herself into and bring into her divine self. And I am privileged that each night this week so far, I've had the chance, the opportunity, and the blessing to be with these wonderful women who are on a path of transformation, of changing the world, of changing their world. And this is such an honor to have gone through the rough road of what my career was and my personal transformational journey. And I'm not done with it yet by any stretch. I've actually had more transformational leaps and bounds in doing this work than I did basically, well, maybe all my life. It seems like the last 6 years have been the steepest climb I've personally made in my transformational journey. And if it weren't for my own personal commitment and dedication to channeling my divine, my natural gifts and talents, my core values, my life purpose, I wouldn't be able to be in a position to stand with other soulful, beautiful women who are looking for the secret code, the magic formula, and the hand-holding of expertise. You know, one of the cool things that I really love about what I have been blessed to encounter and experience in my life is that through my 30-year journey of playing at the highest levels in executive ranks of companies, both large and small. I was a CEO of a startup medical company, And as the CEO of a small startup company, I did everything, including buying a refrigerator for the break room as we were getting our office space combined. And when I hired my controller, I said to him, we're going to Sears to buy a refrigerator. And he's like, didn't you hire me to be controller? I said, yep, roll up your sleeves. This is what you do in a startup. So from being a CEO of a startup to being a chief operating officer at a very, very large publicly traded national healthcare company, I've seen a lot of variation. I've led a lot. I've solved problems. I've dealt with hierarchy, organizational politics. And for the most part, I've done it pretty darn well. And now I bring all of that and my spiritual evolution and transformation that I've worked through and gotten to and still get to, bringing that together in a magnificent way where I know for sure that every woman who's struggling with her profession, who isn't where she wants to be in her career, and is just not feeling whole and happy inside, that the combination of what I've put together in soul-raising work and very crystal clear, proven professional strategies, and my team is amazing. We help women combine the two, bring your soul's vibration up, and then craft the best strategies, whether it's negotiating a promotion, whether it's going out to the marketplace and up-leveling to a job, or if you've been displaced, whether you're fired, re-engineered out, reorged out, quit, or somehow or else other displaced from a job. We have the exact strategies to get you back on your feet. And I'm proud and happy to see every single day and every single week our ladies claiming dream jobs, increasing their salary, going to their dream states and cities, and just totally celebrating that they've taken charge of their lives. And when you take charge of your life, you stop these career killers dead in their tracks. Like your soul is the exterminator for these career killing mistakes. The first one is blaming others, and we talked about that on Monday. The second one is settling in complacency. The third one is people pleasing. Ugh. And this fourth one today, the career killing mistake for today, the trap that it's so easy to fall into, is making excuses. And before I get into that, I want to say a shout out to Andrea and Tarina. Wow, you're up early, Tarina. And Patty, rock and roll in our 12-week program. Great to see you. Mario Mahandro, great to see you. Loretta Garnett, absolutely awesome. Letty. And some of you ladies, I was just bragging about our the retreat call last night and the experience that all of you lovely ladies who came to the retreat experienced in an absolute massive, massive up-leveling of your soul and your soul's energy. So today's career killing trap, mistake, problem is making excuses. Now, you might think you don't make excuses, but I'm going to give you 3 lines that might come out of your mouth. It won't work. I've never done that. It will never happen. I tried once. Those are excuses. You may think that they're not excuses, but they are. You know, the real obvious excuses are, I'm too old, I'm too young, I don't know how to do that, etc. One of the biggest impediments to my role as a leader when I was in corporate America, and we did a lot of transformational change in one of the companies I was in. We were a big, big Kaizen performance improvement company. And if I heard once, I heard 1,000 times, we've tried that and it didn't work. That is the biggest excuse on the planet. And I hear this all the time on the beautiful women we talk to on our clarity calls. And by the way, you can book that at mofaul.com/dailymo. The clarity call is how we get started in understanding what's really going on in your career. And if the problem is something that we fix, and if you're coachable and ready to be decisive and not just think about it and start all over that with it, we may be a fit for the workshop that I offer. And then we'll transform the heck out of your life and you'll feel better forever. I know, so great. So the excuse of we tried that before and it didn't work is the worst excuse ever. Because here's the one thing that is 100% true all of the time. All right? You want the thing that is 100% true all of the time? You can go to the bank on this. You can absolutely guarantee yourself and everyone in your life that this statement is true. Everything is changing. So if you tried something 2 years ago and your fear brain is going, oh no, we tried that 2 years ago, it didn't work. Everything changed since then. So you're in 100% different conditions. So what are you talking about? That is the worst excuse ever on the planet Earth. I tried that before, or we did that before and it didn't work. Well, you know what that tells me? That you don't know how to change what you're talking about. Hello? If you tried something before and it didn't work, it means you don't know how to do it. That's the truth. The excuse is, well, I tried that before and it didn't work. Great. It means you don't know what the hell you're doing. So find someone who knows what the hell they're doing and say, hey, you know what? This thing has to change. I don't know how to do it, but it's got to change. Who am I speaking to today? Who am I rapping on the side of the head going chink, 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 chink? The excuses that come out of your mouth have one thing in common: fear. It's the only reason why we make excuses. Why in the world wouldn't a human being say, you know what, I tried that 2 years ago. I don't know what the frick I'm doing. I better find someone who does, because this has got to change. Isn't that what you would do in a lot of circumstances? And for some reason in our lives, we don't do that. If you have a coach that you know about that is an expert in something that you don't know about and can change something that's a big problem for you, that is costing you hundreds of thousands of dollars, that is costing you feeling like crap inside, that is hanging up your entire life because you're not where you want to be, wouldn't you fix it? Wouldn't you hire an expert? Wouldn't you want to learn how to fix that problem so just in case it happens again, you know what to do? This is what we do when we're young. But for some reason, when we get to like some age of adulthood, we now have excuses for not fixing things. What happens? What in the world happens that all of a sudden we don't go after fixing stuff, and instead we plant excuse after excuse? I've tried that before. It didn't work. I'm too old. I'm too young. That's not what I do. That's not who I am. Well, if who you am is not successful, that's what you're going with? Really? Really? No. If you're a human being on this planet, and especially if you're listening to this Facebook Live or later in podcast version, and you think you can't, or you think you've done it before and it didn't work out, wait till you hear the other excuses for the next 2 days, because those will rattle your chain too. If you are throwing excuses, including who you are, as an excuse for why something hasn't worked out for you, oh, mamma mia, you got the problem. Do not allow excuses to stall your life and your career. You know, when I was being raised Catholic, there was one thing that, well, there's actually two. One thing that we were told to avoid at all costs, and that was sinning. Were you told that when you were growing up, to avoid sinning? The other thing is to avoid the devil. And I don't know, the devil was, friends in high school that wanted you to smoke and drink. Was that the devil? But I'm telling you what, when you deviate from the best version of you, that's a sin. Plain and simple. And the devil is in excuses. The devil is in blaming others. The devil is in settling in complacency. And the devil is in pleasing others. And in this particular day, when we're talking about the career killing trap of making excuses, the devil is all over this. And you will be sinning against your divine self by making excuses about why your life isn't better, by dragging your ass through all sorts of pain and misery when you could fix it. It's like driving with a flat tire. Why would you do that? And saying, oh, no one can fix this flat tire. Not true. All of the excuses that you make that get in your way of being awesome are not true. And I can tell you that with 100% certainty, guarantee. None of the excuses that you have about why you're not where you are true. There may be other things that are true, like I am full of fear and I don't know it'll work out for me, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want something better. You know, if you drive your car into a tire place with a flat tire, they're going to fix it. Now, of course, they're not going to fix it for free because that expert who's going to fix your problem deserves to be paid. That expert who's going to make your car drivable and give you peace of mind and a safe car to drive is going to get paid. And then you're going to have a car that drives better. And you're going to feel better and you're going to be safer. Super simple. But if your career and your soul have a flat tire, you're going to make excuses for yourself. And your career is much more valuable than your car. Park that one for yourself. What's a car cost? $20, $30, $40, $50,000? What's your career worth? Millions. Your career is worth millions of dollars. It is the most expensive asset that you will ever have in life. Think about that. If you make $80,000 a year on average for a 30-year career, do that math. 80 times 30 is 240. 80 times 30 is 2,400. And then you add the 3 zeros. It's $2,400,000 is going to float through your fingertips if you make $30,000. I mean, if over 30 years, you make $80,000. $2.4 million. I'm going to just bet something here that there is nothing in your life that is going to be worth $2.4 million for you other than your career. If you make $100,000 over a 30-year career on average, it's $3 million. If you make $150,000 over 30 years, it's $4.5 million. Most people have between $2 and $5 million going through their fingertips in the lifetime of their career. And you're making excuses? Really? Not everyone's great at math, but this is very simple math. Super simple. You want to do the simplest math? $100,000 a year on average over a 30-year career is $3 million. There is nothing you're going to touch in your life unless you're playing at a higher level. You're probably not. Most of our ladies are in the 80 to 200. Some of them are above that, but most of them are in that range. Most professional women are earning between 80 and 200, 250. We've had a handful plus women who are 300, 400, and then even higher than that. That's the chief executive officer level. That's senior VP. That's massive bonuses. That's freaking rock star. When you are between $80,000 and $200,000 a year, it's between $2.4 million and $6 million that will come your way. What are you doing about that? What are you doing about protecting that? I'm sure if you own a home, you have homeowners insurance. I don't think your home is worth $6 million. If it is, bravo. Your career is the most valuable asset that you're in charge of. I hope I'm landing this plane, because making excuses about you can't, I won't, I've tried that, I'll never, oh, if I just get this certification. God bless, I spoke to someone yesterday. She's failed a certification 3 times. She could up-level $25,000 or more without the certification. But she's pounding her head against the wall, trying to get this certification. And I said to her, with all due respect, it's not necessary for you to up-level. You could up-level, feel more awesome, have more money, kind of relax a little bit, and then take the test. Don't you think those conditions are better? Why not up-level? Why not give yourself a raise? Why not take yourself up here? Why do you want to suffer and be underpaid and underemployed and see other people zooming ahead when you could do that? You could do that. I want you to put on the chat in the comments down below. Please help me out with something. I don't understand why a human being would not endeavor to fix the most valuable thing they have in their lives. And here's the thing. Fixing it includes getting your soul vibration and your divinity rock star status. Why would you not do that? Why would you stay miserable? Why would in the world would you stay suffering and struggling when there's an alternative? I'm like choking on my own words. Why would you drive a car with a flat tire when there's a tire shop down the road? Why, oh, why? Please help me with this. Ladies, if you have any of the answers for me, I need to know. Hello, Gloria, Michelle, Dora Maria. Help me out before I speak again, because I gotta take, oh, look, I think that's just water. I don't think that was a tear, but it could be a tear because I'm like sad right now. I am super sad right now. We were not taught to do so, Michelle. We were not taught to get help for the most valuable thing we have in our lives. Okay, I get that, but you were not taught a lot of things that you're doing. You were not taught how to be a mom. You were not taught how to, I don't know, breathe air. I don't know. There's so many things you were not taught to do, but you're doing them. Dion, sign up for the darn workshop already. All right? Stop making excuses. Boom. It's Thursday. I'm rocking and rolling today. Did I happen to mention that I got the opportunity to meet with my Kickass Leadership Academy on Monday night? And congratulations to all those ladies who graduated from that 8-week awesome program. To our 12-week Kickass Career Workshop ladies, some of them brand spanking new in that program, some of them rock star finishing up. That's my favorite Tuesday night. And then last night with the ladies as a follow-up call for our retreat that we had 10 days ago. Dora Maria, the only answer to your question I know, fear and lack of self-confidence. I know. So if we know that it's fear, lack of self-confidence, and or just not being taught, can't we now overcome that? Can't we now say, oh, simply fear, or I was never taught how to take care of my career, Mo. Okay, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to do that. I am going to get you squared away so you're going to be able to take care of your career, and you will go from making $2 million in your lifetime to, I don't know, $4 million. Totally doable. We help women make that leap all the time. One of our coolest kick-ass grads of last week totally landed an awesome dream job, $32,000 more. She's got at least 20 more years left in her career, probably 25. It's not going to stay at that level. She now knows who she is. She now knows what she can claim on the next role. And the company she's starting with is going to have a track for her, and there's opportunity for her to continue to grow. And as long as she keeps her soul rocking and rolling, she's going to continue to go. So 20 more years, making 32, that's 600,000 more. More, not total. Not total. Okay? Just more. 600,000. I'm going to give you a little secret. My workshop does not cost $600,000. I know, it should, right? If I help people get that kind of result, shouldn't I be charging maybe even half of that, 300,000? Yeah, still not the number. I charge way less than that. How about that? The investment is like this, and the return is like bigger than you're going to get in the stock market ever. As a matter of fact, this woman turned an investment in my workshop into $32,000 in 12 weeks. Not many people are doing that in 12 weeks. And bravo to that woman, Michelle, rock star. You did exactly what you needed to do. You faced fear and a lifetime of being anxious and basically sick over being so anxious and worried. And we helped you through that because you showed up for yourself, because you decided that enough is enough, and that there was a spark in your soul that said, I got to do something different. And for the 700 plus women who have made that decision, I say, hats off to you. You finally decided that not being taught, fear, worrying about whether it would work for me, you decided to overcome all of that and believe in yourself enough to move forward out of excuses, out of blaming others, out of people pleasing, and out of settling in complacency, and to totally get in the driver's seat and own your career and own your life. It's so good. It's so freaking good. What else have people say? Hey, Sheila Marie, nice to see you. Michelle Duffy, how are you? You still liking my haircut? Just saying. Tarina, because I didn't know it was possible. What I know now, goodness, everyone deserves to feel what I feel after your program. I know, life-changing. Patty, agreed, fear and limiting beliefs. I know, last night's call was great, re-energizing. Thank you, Paula, great to see you again. And Paige, bravo. Hey, nice to see you, Paige. Haven't seen you in a bit of a while. So here's the thing. I got an answer for your excuses. I got a way to help you get out of excuse-ridden life forever. And so if you're still having trouble getting where you know you should be playing, if you haven't turned your $1 million career, everyone has one. If you're making $50,000 a year times 30 years, that's 1.5 million. So even if you're at $50,000 a year, we're going to help you get further than that. If you're a professional woman with education, expertise, and experience, we're going to help you move forward. All right, Michelle Carplunk in the driver's seat, still working on your soul. Me too, Michelle. It's a lifetime. I'm still working on brushing my teeth every day. I'm still working on eating food every day. I sleep every day. So your soul's hygiene is worth at least all of that physical hygiene, because your soul is super more important than your body, both important, but your soul helps your body actually live better. So you want to take care of your soul every day, at least once a day, at least throughout the day, at least stay in touch and in tune and bring that beautiful, vibrant you to life and keep it pumping up and keep it rocking and rolling and keep it being in the driver's seat. Because this physical body, you already know what to do with, don't you? Brush teeth, sleep, hydrate. I feel like hydrating more today. I also think it's because I coached each night this week so far, and that's a lot of energy moving, baby. Yes, indeed. That's a lot of energy. That's a lot of focus. And hydration is necessary for the physical body when you're moving energy. Ladies, if you're in my workshop, if you're in any of my programs, if you're doing your daily routine, if you're totally rocking and rolling, getting your energy revved up here, please, you know the drill on the hydration. If you're new to my work, and some of you may be, let me break something down for you. I started my career as a registered nurse in the cardiac unit at University of Pittsburgh Hospital. At the time, it was called Presbyterian University Hospital. In the early 1980s. I have been a registered nurse for 37 years. I know a thing or two about the body. If you're in any of my workshops or any of my accelerator programs, you're going to get a physiology lesson. Because understanding how this physical plant that houses the body, understanding how it works and making sure that you're moving it in the directions of its optimalness is really important. You're going to get that type of insight from me. And in my 12-week workshop, you're going to learn an awful lot about your body. That's why hydration. I quickly moved from the cardiac care unit at University of Pittsburgh Hospital into cardiac rehab, helping patients recover from heart attacks, open heart surgery, heart transplants. I helped nurse heart transplant patients before they received their heart transplant, and they were on something that was called the balloon pump. Big tube up their aorta, expanding and contracting instead of their heart moving the way it needed to. Massive machinery stuck inside someone's body to help their heart be more effective and efficient. These patients could only lay in bed. That's the only activity they could do. Some of them had such low cardiac output that they could hardly keep their eyes open for more than an hour during the day. They were barely alive. And so in order to keep them alive long enough for a heart transplant to come their way, they needed this massive machine and about 10 IVs. And they needed to be turned and cared for and loved on. And as a cardiac nurse, that was one of the things that I did there. But when they left the hospital with their brand new heart, I got really in love with cardiac rehab and helping these heart patients recover back into life and learn how to meditate. We called it stress management back then. We couldn't call it meditation. It was stress management, eating well, exercising properly. And as a 24, 25-year-old young nurse, that was my jam. And then those cardiac centers began to be a big business for cardiac doctors and other people. And so I worked for a company where we developed cardiac centers and helped doctors have their own places for their own patients, including diagnostic testing and that sort of thing. And then that went the way of regulations, and I became a consultant to physician practices, and then eventually started just crawling my way up the hierarchy of healthcare management, executive management, and leadership. And my last role as chief operating officer at a very large national healthcare company, I was overseeing thousands and thousands of physicians and advanced practitioners in anesthesia practices around the country in different hospitals. And I met with hospital executives for the last 8 years of my career, every single week, all over the country, traveling, hospitals all over the place. And I was in charge of making things happen for the hospital and working with the lead doctors to making sure that the patient care was exactly what everyone wanted. So I know a thing or two about management and executive leadership. And starting out as a registered nurse, I know a lot about the body, and I know a lot about how the body works. I know a lot about how our spirit and our soul works, because I've been on my own divine mission since I was a little girl, raised Catholic. And when I got my first rosary as a second grader at the age of 7, tears were streaming down my face that I saw Jesus on the cross. And I couldn't believe that every little girl like me had to see this dead guy on a cross in order to pray. So I pried that body off of that cross. I said, Mommy, can't I just see the cross and know that that's what happened? Why do I have to see this Jesus Christ hanging on the cross? Why do I have to see that? I thought it was very morbid and scary as a 7-year-old. So from that point on, I was curious about why were people putting negative images in front of something that was supposed to be loving and beautiful. And still to this day, when I go to church with my mom or go into a Catholic church and see Jesus hanging on a cross, I think, wow, that's what you're doing to get people to love each other? It just doesn't resonate. And I respect all religions, any religion, anyone who is receiving spiritual food from their religions. But I've got to say something. I believe more in love and compassion in your soul than a religion that was created by flawed human beings. We are all divine spirits, and I truly believe made in the likeness and image of our Creator. And you indeed are that. But you might not feel like that. And you might have a brain that has been clogged up with all kinds of bullshit about how you're not worthy and how you can't. And I'm here this week to shake and rattle your cage, to show you that it's possible to live life outside of these excuse-laden problems that bring you to your lowest point, not your highest. That when you blame others, you're living in a negative energy all the time. That when you are settling, your subconscious and your soul knows that you're settling and it doesn't feel good. And you're sending out this negative vibrational energy into the world and you're receiving a negative vibration back. And that when you're people pleasing, you're coming from not enoughness. And when you come from not enoughness, you're sending that signal out. So people are going to treat you like you're not enough. And when you're making excuses, that negative vibration is hurtful to you because there's not an excuse. There's only possibilities for you. And when you live in excuses and on top of blaming others and settling and people pleasing, your vibration is so negative that you're receiving such negativity back to you. It's not your fault, but it's something that can be fixed. Just like a flat tire can be fixed on your car. This can be fixed, and there's nothing to fear. Because what we do when we help you fix it is that we then fix this multi-million-dollar asset that you're working on every day like a freaking carpenter, making your career better. But you're not, because you have such negative vibrational energy because no one showed you something different. And that's why what I have created and what we do in my workshop is so freaking amazing, because I figured this out over 20 plus years of struggling. And in 12 weeks, we can get you through that. It's an amazing journey. It's an amazing formula that I was divinely brought to because of my struggles, because of the things I've been poking away at ever since I was 7, taking that Jesus Christ off my rosary and pondering, why would God want that? Why would a loving, beneficent God want a guy on a cross to die and for millions of people to have to suffer to see that? It just doesn't resonate with me. The same thing is, you don't need excuses. You don't need to blame others. You don't need to settle. And you certainly don't need to be running around as a people pleaser, making sure everyone else is fine and you're not. You are the most important person in your universe. And when you are healthy and thriving and your soul is vibrant and alive, you will be better at taking care and loving those around you. People pleasing is not loving people. Don't confuse the two. So that's the dealio. Okay? These career killers are robbing you of millions of dollars. I'm not just talking about a nice idea. I'm talking about how it is a thief to you. In your soul, you're being robbed, and we can't even measure that. But we can measure what it's being robbed from your career. We can certainly measure that. And we actually do track it. I might be the only coach that tracks outcomes and things like that. We are on this planet to be awesome. And if you're not feeling that way, it can be fixed. It can be. But you have to be willing to get over the fear, the I wasn't taught this was what you do, the misery that you're attached to, the stories that you're attached to. And you know what else happens? Sometimes it's the people of your family or your friends who want you to be miserable because it makes them feel better, and it's how they know you. When you're awesome, they got to start thinking about their own responsibility. So sometimes that holds people back. And it's deep. We help people work through that all the time. Our ladies are rock star warriors. All right, I am going to rock and roll. I prefer Protestant churches. Yeah, I just started to get out from the tunnel of darkness, and I'm celebrating. Good for you, Helena. And Michelle, yep, 10, 10, 10 every day. So here's the thing. The best way to get rock and rolling with us is to book your clarity call. It's mofaul.com/live clarity. I'm like, mofaul.com/live clarity is how you get started. Many of these women who you see comments from have done the magnificent work of bringing their souls back to life and landing their dream jobs, getting their careers jump started, and knowing exactly who they are and what they bring to the marketplace. This is what we do. I help change the world one awesome professional woman at a time. And we rock it on the clarity calls. I want you to consider the depth of significance of your career and your soul and how meaningful it is to your life and to your legacy. Don't suffer one more day. It's not necessary. It isn't. Your soul deserves more. Your soul is begging you. Take a bit of a risk. It's a teeny little risk. And book your clarity call at mofaul.com/liveclarity. Got to run. I'll see you tomorrow and the next day for 2 more career-killing traps you're going to want to get out of fast. This is Mo Faul, America's Kickass Bring Your Soul to Work career coach. I'm loving on you today. See you next time.